Okay guys, Bernardo Faria here. Guys, today we're gonna go over here about all the fundamentals and concepts about Jiu-Jitsu. So the goal here is to give you like the most important techniques in Jiu-Jitsu and the most important fundamentals and concepts. It's gonna be everything very basic, but I believe that's everything you need to know to be able to build the advanced techniques. I always believe that if someone has a very good fundamentals, it's very easy to learn the advanced techniques. So that's why the fundamentals is so important. You know, you cannot start Jiu-Jitsu trying to learn like bolo and all this stuff. First you learn the fundamentals, you create your base, the base of the pyramid, and then later you try to learn the advanced stuff. And I love to learn the fundamentals because fundamentals is the type of thing, there are so many details that sometimes you don't even see, that many times I see people kind of like ignoring and think, oh, this is too easy, this is too basic, and it's not. I remember, for example, when I moved to São Paulo to train at Alliance with Fabio Gurgel, my first I did 6 months of the fundamentals class that Fabio had, just to make sure I could learn that fundamentals from Fabio. And then I did another 6 months as a voluntary, and I was already black belt when I did that. So I really believe that fundamentals is probably like the most important part of Jiu-Jitsu. So that's why today we're gonna go over here all the techniques from close guard, open guard, submissions, escapes, takedowns, everything you have to know to build a very good fundamentals for your Jiu-Jitsu. I hope you guys enjoyed it. So guys, as we know, Jiu-Jitsu starts standing, right? If you're gonna compete some tournament or anything like that, it's gonna start standing. So it's really important to know how to pull guard when you are standing. So first technique we're gonna do here, it's not allowed anymore for white belts. Nowadays it's only legal for blue and up. And if you do that on training, I would suggest not doing that on training because it's very easy to get hurt. But first technique we're gonna do here is how to pull to the close guard, how to jump in the close guard. Okay, so I'm gonna show here the most important things, and again, I would suggest not doing that on training because it's very easy for the person who's standing to twist the leg or something like that. But it's definitely something that you should know, because if you're gonna compete a tournament one day, that's probably the easiest way to pull to the close guard. So guys, what I'm gonna do here is I'm fighting against my opponent. I'm gonna make one grip on his lapel. He's gonna probably make one grip on my lapel. Then I'm gonna make one grip on his arm. He's gonna probably make one grip on my arm as well. Guys, just to make sure my partner doesn't get hurt here, I'm gonna ask him to stay like in this quad position here, okay? Guys, now what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna control his lapel, I'm gonna control his arm, and in the same side that I have his arm, I'm gonna throw my leg on him. So I'm gonna throw my leg and then throw the other leg, so pay attention. I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna do this. Look. And normally my opponent's gonna hold me up, so he's gonna carry me up. So one more time. So look, I'm here, I'm gonna control his lapel, I'm gonna control his arm, I'm gonna throw my leg, and here I am. Okay, for us to be able to do it fast, now what Kyle is gonna do, he's gonna move his up forward a little bit, and he's gonna help me to stand up. So go, just move your hip forward, Kyle. And I'm gonna stand up. And now it's his turn. He's gonna control my arm, control my lapel, and he's gonna throw his leg in the same side that he has my arm. I'm gonna hold him. Now I'm gonna help him to stand up, and it's my turn. So control his lapel, control his arm, throw the leg in the same side of the arm, and jump. He's gonna help me to stand up, and here I am. So guys, every time I jump in the close guard, I always like to jump a little bit sideways, because many times what happens is, we jump in the close guard, and then the person goes there and throws us on the ground. So if my back hits the ground, I'm gonna kind of like lose the breath, and it's gonna hurt. So I wanna avoid that. That's why when I jump, pay attention, I'm gonna jump a little bit sideways. Look, I'm here, I'm gonna throw my leg, and if I fall with my shoulder on the ground, not with my back. So that's very important. Another very important detail here is when I pull him to the close guard, I want to bring him down, right? I don't want to keep him standing. So many times I can just pull with the lapel and with the arm, and he's gonna come down. And in case if he doesn't come down, I'm gonna place my both hands on his legs. I'm gonna frame his legs, and now I'm gonna use my leg to bring him, and he's gonna fall, and now I have him on my closer. Okay, so let's see again. So pay attention in the entire sequence. I'm gonna control his lapel. I'm gonna control his arm. In the same side that I have his arm, I'm gonna throw my leg. So I'm gonna go there and throw. I'm just gonna try to bring him down, and if he doesn't put his both knees on the ground, I'm gonna switch my both hands to his leg, and I'm gonna use my legs to bring him, and I have him on the close guard. Guys, if you wanna practice just the jumping as a drill, all we gotta do is one person stay in the squat position and use the hip to help to stand up. So look, we're gonna do pretty fast right now, look. Help me out. Are you jumping? And it's a very good way to warm up. So guys, close guard is one of the best positions for beginners, one of the most fundamental positions, and that's how we're gonna pull to the close guard, jump in the close guard. Just make sure you be very careful doing that on training. That's why it's not legal anymore for white belts, because it's very easy to twist the leg. Okay guys, this position here, now we're gonna work how to pull to the open guard. Okay, so let's imagine just start the fight and I wanna pull my opponent to the open guard. So how I'm gonna do that? So guys, I'm fighting against Kyle here. Probably I have his lapel, he has my lapel. I have his arm, he has my arm. And guys, let's imagine that I wanna pull him to the open guard, okay? So guys, I have two options here for my grips. I can control just like this, as like a judo throw, or as I'm thinking already about pulling guard, I could switch to this grip over here. So it's my choice. So first I'm gonna do with this one. Guys, all I gotta do is, in the same side of his arm, I have to put my foot on his hip. So I'm here, I'm gonna place my foot on his hip, and now that I did that, I'm just gonna sit, and I have him on my guard. Guys, from here, I should be able to set up some type of guard as soon as possible. So a very easy guard set up from here is, I control his lapel, I bring my foot against his biceps, and I stop with this type of guard here. And then from here, I would have a lot of options to sweep him. I could switch to this one, I could switch to this one, I could switch to the triangle, I could switch to the balloon, but you're gonna see that during the curriculum. But I'm gonna stop here. I could pull him to the close guard, okay? So I have a lot of options. So let's see again. Fighting against Kyle, I'm gonna control his lapel, I'm gonna control his arm, could be like this, or it could be like this, wherever you guys want. Okay, I'm gonna do this one again. I'm gonna place my foot on his hip, in the same side of his arm. That's very important, you guys will see why. And then I'm just gonna sit, and I have him on my guard. As soon as I got here, I wanna set up the guard. So I'm gonna put my foot on his biceps, foot on his lapel, or I could even have switched to the spider guard. Anything I want. Once I'm on the ground, I can pick anything I want. Guys, it's really important to control his lapel and control his sleeve, because if I do the opposite, if I put my foot on this hip over here, he can easily, with this hand, slap my foot, and look what's gonna happen. I'm gonna pull him to the side control, so that's not good. So what I wanna do, I wanna pull him to my guard. So control the lapel, control the arm, foot on the hip in the same side, sit, and I have him on my guard. Okay guys, so as you know, Jiu-Jitsu starts standing, right? So when Jiu-Jitsu starts, normally we have two options. You can go for a takedown, we have three options. We can go for a takedown, we can pull guard, or we can wait for my opponent to pull guard. Those are normally the three options that we have. Or we could try some crazy submission from standing, but it's not the case about when we talk more about fundamentals. So now I just want to show you guys what should be the posture when we are standing without grips. So for this one, I don't even need a training partner, I can do by my own. So guys, when I'm fighting against someone, for example, and we just started the match, I don't like starting the match and go against my opponent like this. I should have a good posture for that. So what I like to do is kind of like a mix between like wrestling and judo. The judo fighters normally they start like this. The wrestlers they start a little lower than that. So for jiu-jitsu I would like to stay on between both. Okay? I don't want to start too high like this as a judo fighters because I'm gonna expose my legs. But I also don't want to stay too low like this as a wrestlers because my opponent could easily grab my lapel and start shaking me down and this and that. So when I start a fight, for example, I like fighting that middle. I like stay not too high, not too low. So normally my posture is like this. Like I keep one leg in the front, one leg behind. I kind of protect my lapels over here. So imagine your two hands are kind of like two shields. I'm protecting my lapels and I'm gonna walk kind of like a wrestler and just ready or to pull guard or to do a double leg or to wait for my opponent to pull guard. I really like to stay a little bit low like this because, for example, let's imagine I'm fighting against Caio and he's gonna pull guard against me. So I don't want to stay exposure and give him whatever guard he has. So when he tries to pull guard against me, for example, let's go, let's try to... I like going straight to my favorite passes, that are the pressure passes. So to be able to do that, I gotta stay low. Stand up again. And guys, also for me to do like a double leg or single leg, staying low, it's way easier to reach him. Okay? And even if I want to pull guard, if I'm too high, look how hard it can be for me to go to the bottom and attack and get his legs and this and that. For example, if I would pull Hefner or something like that. So that's why I like staying like a little bit lower. Not too low that he can grab my lapel and start shaking me, but also not too high that I'm exposure. So normally that's my posture, look. And then I can work on the lapel, I could pull guard, I could attack his legs, and this and that. So that's normal how I'm staying, like a little bit like this. Not too high, not too low, like this. So guys, one of the most basic takedowns we have in Jiu-Jitsu, it's the double leg. And I love the double leg because it's the type of position that anybody can do it. You don't have to have like a judo background or wrestling background. As long as you know how to grab your opponent's legs, you can do the double leg. So you can learn the double leg in the first class and you can stick with that for your entire career. So guys, what you're gonna do here is, let's imagine fighting against my opponent, right? And I have one leg in the front, he has one leg in the front, right? And I'm trying to approach him to take him down. But guys, the most important thing here for the double leg is gonna be how to calculate the right distance, okay? Because if I'm too close to him, he's gonna grab my lapel, and now if I try to go to his leg, he can easily stretch his leg and stay away from me, and there's no double leg anymore. If I stay too far from him, how can I approach this double leg? It's gonna be really hard as well. So I gotta calculate the right distance. So guys, the right distance should be the distance kind of like my arm to him, okay? But enough that he cannot grab my leg, my lapel. So it gotta be a little more than just my arm. So for example, if you try to stretch his arm, that's the perfect distance to approach the double leg, okay? So look guys, once again, I'm a little bit like low here. I'm not too high, not too low. I have my both hands protecting my both lapels. And now what I'm gonna do is, with my leg in the front, I'm gonna step as high, as forward as I can. Okay? So look, I'm here, I'm gonna step over there. Look, my foot goes almost like between his both legs. Once I got here, my both hands go behind his both legs. And now I'm just gonna drive forward and pull his both legs to me. So it's gonna be this, look. And I'm gonna take him down, and I'm just ready to start passing. Who is falling, it's important that you do the back roll, okay? Not the back roll, just the back fall. So look, I'm fighting against Caio again. I'm protecting my both lapels here. I have a good distance between him and me. If he tries to make a grip on my lapel, I can easily frame him, look. Now I'm gonna step forward. Look, my foot goes almost between his both legs. My both hands go behind his both legs. I just pull and I drive forward, look. And he's gonna fall. Okay, guys, so it's really important that the biggest mistake here I see people doing is they step like this, look. My foot's not even between his both legs, and now I have to bend my lower back all, and then I try to do the takedown, I stretch my arms, and it's very easy for him to sprawl. So don't do that. So make sure you step as much as you can. Now look how my lower back is kind of like high here. It's not like bending. And now it's easy for me to drive and pull. So one more time, full speed, fighting against Kyle. And I'm ready to start passing. That's it. Very, very simple, very basic, and works even like in the highest level. Guys, in this situation here, we're gonna see the double leg from the knees. Okay, so let's imagine I tried the double leg against my opponent and I placed my knee on the ground. So guys, most of the times you do that, my opponent is able to sprawl a little bit, and we're gonna see how to cut out the sprawl and finish the double leg. It's very, very basic and it's very, very useful, and it's one of my favorite takedowns, even the highest level, even as a black belt in the World Championships level. So let's see how to do it, and I would really suggest to stick with that because it's the type of technique that you can do as a white belt and you can do as a black belt. Okay, so look, I'm fighting against my opponent, right? I have to calculate the right distance here. I cannot be too close to him that he make a grip on my lapel, and I can also not to be too far that I cannot approach him. So I have the right distance, kind of like one arm distance. Okay, I'm protecting my lapels here. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna step forward and I'm gonna place this knee on the ground. But once I got here, he's gonna sprawl a little bit. Look, guys, once he did this sprawl, I'm bringing this leg on this way. And now my right knee is gonna drive the diagonal a little bit over here, look. And then my head is gonna come up, and it's easy for me to keep circling and finishing the double leg over here. And just get ready to start passing. So let's see again. Fighting against Kyle. I'm gonna try the double, I place my knee on the ground, he's gonna sprawl a little bit, my foot comes here, my knee's gonna cut the angle, and I'm gonna take him down. So one more time. So guys, also again, this position, one of the most important things is gonna be step forward as much as you can. Don't try to do like this, like, I'm not gonna have a good base. So I want to step forward as much as I can. Many times I'm gonna take him down almost using my shoulder. Look, I'm here, I'm gonna go there, my knee goes to the ground, I cut the angle, and the position is just there. Right, so one more time. Fighting against Kyle, I have the right distance here, protecting my lapels. I'm gonna step forward, my knee goes to the ground, he's gonna sprawl. I bring my leg, I cut the angle, and the takedown is just there. So it's very, very basic and very, very efficient. That's why I like it so much. Okay guys, now let's work here on the single leg. Okay, let's see the most important things here for the single leg. Guys, single leg is the also again is the type of the position that you learn as a white belt and you're still using as a black belt. So work on all levels, very, very basic and very, very efficient. So let's see how to do it. And guys, pay attention because single leg is the type of position that there are so many mistakes that you can do. And if you do it well, it's going to be a huge difference for you and it's going to spend way less energy to finish the takedown. So let's imagine fighting against Kyle here, right? Guys, all I got to do is stepping outside. Okay? So once again, I got to have that distance. I cannot be too close to him that he grabs my lapel, and I cannot be too far that I can approach him. So it's kind of like this distance, one arm. Now I'm going to step outside and I'm going to catch his leg. Guys, once I catch his leg, the biggest mistake I see people doing here, they stay like this. They're too low. Once they're too low, it's easy for Kyle to push my head down, put his belly on top of my head, the opposite Kyle, and start sprawling and I lose everything. So, once I get the single leg, I want to make sure I have this posture over here, look. I'm almost like a little sideways, my shoulders against his leg, and pay attention about my feet. Look how I'm a little sideways here, right? And pay attention how I'm not like this, look. I have my posture kind of up like this. Guys, now to take him down, all I have to do is, my right leg, I'm gonna step back and push my shoulder against his leg. So I'm gonna do this, look. And I'm gonna take him down. Okay? So let's see again. Fighting against Kyle, I'm gonna step outside and catch. Pay attention on my grip, okay? Now look, my shoulder is over his leg, okay? Now I'm gonna step backwards and push my shoulder down. And he's gonna fall, and I'm just ready to start passing. Guys, I always compare this position with like if you're working on construction, okay? So let's imagine you have the hammer here, and you wanna do this. So how would you do it? You would grab the hammer, okay? You would lift it, but when it's time to hit, your leg would move, right? You would do like this. And then it's way easier to hit the hammer really hard, just because you step it back with this leg. So single leg is gonna be the same thing. Look, I got here, I catch his leg, okay? When it's time to take him down, I'm not gonna try to take him down like this, look. I'm gonna step back with my right leg and push my shoulder down. So the move is like, I'm here, I'm gonna do this, look. And that's how he's gonna fall. Guys, every time I talk about the single leg, I always like to mention one thing. Guys, there are two types of single legs. The one that I just did, that I placed my head inside, and there is another type of single leg that I placed my head outside. Okay? Guys, please be very, very careful with the second option. Don't even do it. I would say that this is the only position in Jiu-Jitsu that's very dangerous. Okay? Many times, Caio, do on it. If Caio does with his head outside, nowadays it's not even legal in Jiu-Jitsu anymore, okay? But before, I could grab his belt, I could grab his pants, I could step outside and pull him to me, and he would fall with his forehead on the ground. So he could hurt really bad his neck. And I think everybody knows that injuries on the neck can be very dangerous, okay? So there are very low cases in Jiu-Jitsu that this happens, but it's happened before and was a very bad injury for the person. So I always put the head inside. And nowadays it's not even legal in Jiu-Jitsu anymore on BJJ. But who knows, maybe you're training at some small school, the person didn't know and he did that on you and he fell with your head on the ground. So it's always good to avoid. So that's why when you do the single leg, I always want to use the head inside. Don't put the head outside. Okay, because he can do what we call the bury. So once again, I'm gonna go there, I'm gonna catch his leg, I'm gonna step backwards and drop my shoulder down. So, and I'm just ready to start passing. Guys, for this position here, I just want to explain to you a little bit how is the posture when we have buff grips. When my opponent has his grips on me and I have my grips on him. How should be our posture? We have talked about how is the posture when the person doesn't have grips, okay? That I like between judo and between wrestling, so I don't like staying too low, I don't like staying too high. I like staying a little bit like this. Well, let's imagine I'm fighting against my opponent, he's gonna make his grips on me, okay? So look, I'm fighting against Caio, I went there, he made a grip on me and I made a grip on him, okay? Now he got my arm as well and I got his arm. So guys, pay attention what's going on here. I have his lapel and I have his arm. He has my lapel, and he has my arm. So here's 50-50. Here's like draw. Nobody's winning. Guys, the goal here would be to try to break this grip. So for example, if I get to do this, look, now I'm controlling the grip, because now he can't stop my upper body anymore. He doesn't have my lapel. And then when he tried to grab my lapel again, I don't let him grab. Guys, when he doesn't have this grip, look, with his grip, it's kind of hard for me to move him because he's always going to stop my upper body. But once I break this, look how easy it is to move him. Look, and here's where all the takedowns is going to come. All, especially like the judo takedowns, the hip throws, they will all come from where my opponent doesn't have this grip. Because it's very easy for me to move him. It's very easy to apply the hip throws. So it's really important to have this grip here on my lapel. Many times when you watch a judo match, for example, it's always a fight for the grip. It's always like the two guys standing trying to fight for this grip, trying to get inside and get one lapel and one sleeve, and not letting the opponent get one lapel and one sleeve, okay? So look again, fighting against Caio, he's gonna control my lapel, I'm gonna control his lapel. He's gonna control my arm, I'm gonna control his arm, and that's the fight. Probably he would try to break this grip over here, so and I would give everything I have here to not let. And even if he breaks this grip, I would switch to the other one, look. I would always try to keep one hand on his lapel really strong, okay? So that's how the game works. So I just wanna make this video here to explain you a little bit how are the grips when you're standing. What should you do, okay? So I don't wanna stay like, he has my lapel, he has my arm, and I have no control. He's gonna start shaking, he's gonna start trying to take us. Look, he can move me wherever he wants. So always keep one hand on his lapel, one hand on his arm, and if you can't, break his grip and you have the control. And now I can start shaking him, I can start making him walk, I can switch for doubles, I can do whatever I want. Again, look, if he has this hand here, it's really hard for me to do a double, for example. Look, I can't get there. But once I break this grip, look how easy it is. Okay, so that's why it's really important to fight for the grip, and if possible, don't let your opponent grab his lapel, and make sure you grab his lapel. Again, look, from here it's hard for me to do single leg, it's hard for me to do double leg, but once I break his grip, now everything is easy. Look, I can go for the single, I can go for the double, I just open his lapel and his arm a little bit, look, I just do a little bit like this and I go. I could go for all the type of judo throws. So that's why it's important to make sure you don't let your opponent feel comfortable. Break his grip, and now you have the control. You can do whatever you want. Okay guys, now let's see a little bit here about judo throws, like about hip throws. It's also part of jiu-jitsu. But guys, those hip throws is the type of techniques that if you want to do it, especially like in tournament highest level, it's something that I would suggest you drilling a lot and maybe even doing some judo class. Don't try to do it like, oh, I learned it last 2 weeks ago and I'm gonna try to do it, because you're gonna mess it up. This is something that you gotta have a very good timing to be able to apply it. But it's part of jiu-jitsu and you should at least know, okay? So guys, first one you're gonna do here is the most basic one. So let's imagine I'm fighting against Kyle. Okay, and he put the other leg in the front, guys. Yeah, and he has like my lapel, he has my arm, I have his lapel, I have his arm. Guys, what I want to do here, even to make it easier, Kyle, can you just be for both legs parallel? Because I just want to show the fundamentals here. Guys, fundamental of this position here is I'm gonna step across with my foot. Once I step across, I'm gonna open up and I'm gonna place my hand under his armpit. Now my left hand is gonna position kind of like in front of his both legs, and now I'm gonna have my both legs in front of his both legs. Guys, once I got here, if I try to lift him up right now, I don't have the strength to do it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bend my legs, and now I'm gonna lift him up again, and then I feel him very light. Now that I'm here, I'm just gonna keep turning him, and I'm gonna take him down. If it was a tournament, I would fall together with him. As we are just drilling, I throw him and I pull his arm to make sure he doesn't fall that hard. And I could stop with my knee on belly and go to the arm bar and this and that. So let's see one more time. Guys, honestly, like this is not my position at all. I just know how to do it because, as I said, we gotta know. But it's something that I never try. I'm more like towards double legs, single legs. And even when I go for judo throw, I like those ones here that are a little bit more simple than using the hip. But again, if you do that a lot, if you practice that a lot, if you have a good time, and maybe if you do some judo class, it's definitely something that you can try. So look, just to show you the basics here, let's imagine Kyle has his both legs parallel. I have his sleeve, I have his arm, I'm gonna break his grip, or I could even do that with his grip, but it's gonna be a little harder. I'm gonna step across. Same time that I step across, I go there and I grab his armpit. Now I put my both legs in front of his both legs. I'm gonna bend myself, I'm gonna bring him to me, and I'm gonna take him down, and I stop with my knee on belly. Okay, so one more time, last one. Here, fighting against Sky, I'm gonna control his lapel, I'm gonna control his arm, I'm gonna break it, or I could do this with the grip, but it can be a little harder. I'm gonna step across, and I'm gonna get here underneath his armpit. I'm gonna position myself in front of him, I'm gonna bend my legs, and I lift, and I'm gonna take him down, and I'm ready to go. That's it. Guys, next position we're gonna do here, it's once again another hip throw, okay, and it's more like a judo hip throw, and again, it's not my thing. I mean, I don't try too much hip throws, But I think it's really important for everybody who does jiu-jitsu to at least understand and to know what's this, especially if you're a jiu-jitsu teacher and you're gonna teach. And if you were into hip throws, I would suggest you like to drill that a lot, or at least do some judo throws, because different than double leg, single leg, it's something that's very easy to mess up. So if you do that wrong, the person can take her back, the person can take it down. So, and you need a lot of time to be able to apply those. So now what you're gonna do here, fighting against Kai, I'm just gonna show the basics, okay? I could break his grip, or I could do with his grip. I'm gonna step across and I'm gonna get this other hook here, kind of controlling his hip. Once I did that, I'm gonna position myself in front of him. Pay attention that my butt feet should be or in front of his butt feet or even between his butt feet. I like better in front of his butt feet. My hip gotta stay in front of his hip. The big mistake here is people trying to do from here. Look, my hip is not in front of his hip. I'm gonna place my hip over there. I'm gonna bend my legs and I'm gonna lift him. Once I did that, I'm just gonna keep turning and I have the takedown over there. So let's see one more time. Fighting against Caio, have his lapel, have his arm. I'm gonna step across and get the other hook. Once I got here, I'm gonna position myself in front of him. My hip stays in front of him. I'm gonna bend my legs, I'm gonna lift and turn, and the takedown is just there. So last one. Fighting against Caio, have his lapel, have his arm. I'm gonna step across, get the other hook, and position myself in front of him. Now I'm gonna bend my legs, lift, and the takedown is just there. That's it. Guys, now let's work here in the one judo throw that's very popular in jiu-jitsu. Like most of the jiu-jitsu guys that they go into judo throws, they try this one. It's the Moro TCOE. Okay? So let's see how to do it. So guys, what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna control my opponent's lapel and I'm gonna control my opponent's arm. Okay? Guys, if I'm able to break his grip, that's the ideal scenario. So I'm gonna not let him grab my gi. Guys, for this position, instead of controlling high here on his lapel, I'm gonna control a little low. First, I'm gonna do slow motion, but this is the type of position that I should not do with slow motion. Okay, but I'm just gonna do slow motion to show you guys. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna step across, I'm gonna bring my arm in, and I'm gonna position my both knees on the ground in front of him, like this. And now that I'm here, I'm just gonna bring him to me, and I'm gonna take him down. So guys, pretty much what I did was I positioned myself on the knees in front of him, and I pull him to me. So I made a trap for him. Now he can step forward. But once I'm in front of him, he cannot step and he's gonna end up falling because I have his lapel and his arm. So see again. Make sure you control a little lower for this one because I gotta be able to twist my arm inside. So if I go too high, it's kind of hard to do that, look. So I'm gonna control a little lower. I can even open his gi here, look, to make sure I have this good turning here. Okay? So now what I'm gonna step across and I'm gonna bring my leg and place my both knees on the ground at the same time. So I'm here. Now I just move and the takedown is just there. Okay? Guys, many times when you see this position being applied in tournaments and this and that, what people do is they grab the lapel. They have two options. Or they start pulling 1, 2, 3 and they go. Or they do the opposite. Or I start pulling Caio towards that way. And then when I feel that he's pushing me against the other way, that's the time I go there. I switch my legs. And I take him down. So it's kind of like a trap. I push him towards one way. And then when he pushes me towards the other way, I take that momentum and I throw him. Or I start pushing 1, 2, 3. Okay, so let's see one more time without moving, just from here. I get his lapel, I open up, I get his arm, I step across, and I take him down, and I go straight to the side control. That's it. Very, very useful for jiu-jitsu, but also again, you need a very good timing for that, so make sure you practice that a lot before you try, because our opponent can try to jump on your back when you do that. Okay guys, now we're gonna work here in the close guard. Okay, so we're gonna see the most basic positions in close guard. And the close guard, I believe that it's the type of position that everybody who who is starting Jiu-Jitsu should be the first guard. That was my first guard. When I started Jiu-Jitsu, close guard was my first guard. Just because it's the easiest one. You have your opponents inside your legs, you have your legs locked. So it's very easy for you. You can take your time to start attacking your opponent. All the other guards, it's very easy for your opponent to get out and start passing your guard. They can just start passing. Close guard, no. They have first to open your guard and then start passing. So that's why I believe close guard is the best guard for beginners. The first guard that everybody should learn. And also, like, during the road, you're going to start learning other guards, but close guard is always a very good option. In my case, for example, half guard is my favorite position on bar, but I still have a very solid close guard. And when my half guard is not working, I go to the close guard. So we're going to see here a lot of options from close guard, all the fundamentals from close guard, and I would highly suggest you to focus a lot on close guard to understand the fundamentals of Jiu-Jitsu. You're going to understand a lot about leverage, about grips, about attacks, about defense. So I hope you guys enjoy the close guard. Okay guys, so today, right now we're gonna see here how to do the scissor sweep from the close guard. Guys, scissor sweep is probably like the most basic sweep you have from the close guard. I mean, like, I think every Jiu-Jitsu school you go, they teach you scissor sweep right in the first week. And I like it because the scissor sweep teaches you a lot about your body, you know, like you gotta do a little hip escape, you gotta position legs in the right way, you gotta have this grip here, you gotta have that grip there. So it's a very good position to really teach you like the fundamentals of Jiu-Jitsu. So let's see how to do it here in the right way. So let's see if I'm fighting against my opponent, and he's on my close guard. And guys, this scissor sweep is a very good option because it's the type of option that I'm gonna use when my opponent has the right posture. So for example, let's imagine I'm fighting against Kyle, and with one hand he's gonna control my buff lapels, with the other hand he's gonna control around my hip. So it's been really hard to attack him. Look, if I try to go to his neck, he stretches his arm and I can't get close to his neck. If I try to do Kimura, there's no Kimura here. So what I'm gonna do? So the scissor sweep is gonna be perfect for this moment. So what I'm gonna do here is my right hand is gonna go to his lapel. I always do cross lapel. My left hand, I'm gonna control his arm and I'm gonna try to close his elbow a little bit. Guys, the left hand should be anywhere on his arm that he cannot post his hand on the ground. So if I control right here, for example, that's not smart because he can put his hand on the ground and stop my sweep. So if I control in the sleeve, is not my favorite because he can try to put his elbow on the ground. Okay, so I like controlling here between his forearm and his elbow, and I'm gonna close it. Once I did that, I'm gonna open my guard. I'm gonna do a short hip escape, and I'm gonna position my shin against his belly and my other leg against his knee. Okay? Guys, scissor sweep is set up. But if I try to sweep him right now, all his weight is on his knees, so it's not gonna work. I can try, it's not gonna work. So I'm missing one step here. When I get to this position, now I gotta bring him to me, and now all his weight is on top of me. So now it makes a lot of sense to just do the scissor, and he's gonna fall, and I'm gonna get up right away. Okay? I'm gonna get up with my hand already on his collar, ready to start the choke. Okay, so let's see again. Fighting against Kyle. I'm gonna control his lapel. I'm gonna control his arm. I'm gonna open my guard. I'm gonna hip escape a little bit. I'm gonna position my shin against his belly. My other leg is gonna go on the ground around his knee. I'm gonna bring him to me. And now I'm gonna kick my buff legs. This one goes towards that direction. This one goes towards this direction. And I'm gonna get on top. And I have the mount with my hand ready to choke him. So last one. Let's change the angle here to make sure you guys can see. So look, I'm here. I'm gonna control his lapel. I'm gonna control his arm. I'm gonna close his arm a little bit. I'm gonna open my legs. Hip escape a little bit. I'm gonna place my shin against his belly, my other shin against his leg. I'm gonna bring him towards me, and I'm gonna kick, and I'm gonna get him on. Okay? So guys, just pay attention here how, like, the reason I said that I like, just move a little bit here. The reason I said I like a lot about the scissor sweep for beginners to make sure they understand the body and the move. Look how the scissor sweep teaches you a lot here. I have one hand on his lapel, so we learn about this grip. We learn about how to make a grip on my opponent's arm to make sure that he doesn't post the hand on the ground. We learn about hip escape. We learn about how to position our legs in the right way. Look, I gotta move my legs. And we learn a lot, and we learn about like how to take my opponent off balance. So if I try to sweep him from here, it doesn't work, but also I bring him, now it's easy. So it's the type of position that's gonna show us a lot of jiu-jitsu. So then it's a great position to teach us the fundamentals and to teach to a beginner. Okay guys, now we're gonna work here the sweep that we call the pendulum sweep. And guys, this is a very basic position and it's a great position for the fundamentals as well, for fundamentals class and beginners class. Because also again, it teaches you a lot about jiu-jitsu. Like you're gonna need to move your hip, you're gonna need to get your hip very loose and use your legs and use momentum, use leverage. And guys, I see a lot of people doing this position wrong. So let's try to fix as well for those who does wrong. So let's see how to do it. So look, I have my opener on my close guard. Make a posture for this arm, this for this one, okay. And let's imagine like he has his both lapels, my both lapels, he has my hip. Guys, what I'm gonna do here is one hand I'm gonna control on this arm on between his forearm and his elbow, somewhere that he cannot post his hand on the ground. Okay, and I'm gonna close the elbow here a little bit. With my left hand, I'm gonna go underneath this leg. Many times I see people teaching beginners telling the opponent to stand up this leg over here just to make it easier. So if Kyle stand up this leg, it's easier, but even if he doesn't stand up, I can still do it. So let's do without standing up. So I'm gonna control his arm. This hand is gonna go all the way down underneath his leg. Okay? Now that I got here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open my both legs and I'm gonna go even more deep here. Okay? So pay attention how I am. I'm almost like 90 degrees to Kyle. Okay? And guys, now from here, this leg is gonna hit his armpit and the other leg is gonna kind of sweep him here. So pay attention. This leg is gonna go towards this way and this leg is gonna go towards that way. That's why you call pendulum sweep. It's working like a pendulum. Okay? So now that I'm here, so look, pay attention. This leg is gonna go over there, this leg is gonna go over here, and I'm gonna get him on. And look how smooth it is for me to get him on with my right leg. And then also I got him on, I'm gonna hold his leg for a little bit, for like probably like 2 or 3 seconds to make sure he doesn't come back. And then I'm gonna let go and establish the mount. It's important to hold this leg because I know that his first reaction when I get on top is to breach and come out and try to come up again. So just breach, and then many times I don't get a sweep. I just get a sweep and he breaches back. So pay attention again. I'm gonna control his arm. I'm gonna control underneath his leg. I'm gonna go underneath him. Once I'm here, this leg goes there. This leg goes here. And I'm gonna get on top. Now if he tries to come back, look, he can't. He can't post that leg on the ground. If I didn't have this leg, he could easily put his butt feet on the ground and try to come back. Okay? Guys, common mistake about this position, I see many people do it. I see at least like 60% of people who do this position doing it this way. They get here, they get there. Now instead of stretching this leg, they keep this leg bended. And now when they try to sweep, this leg bothers me to come up. So that's not perfect. That's wrong, okay? Because now I cannot come up. And then many times they lose the position from here. So come back again, Kyle. So it's very important that when I'm here, I control his arm. I control underneath his leg. I go underneath him. Now pay attention how this leg is stretched. Now this leg is gonna go all the way down over there. So it doesn't bother me at all to come up and establish the mount. I'm gonna hold this leg for 2 or 3 seconds. I'm gonna let go and I'm on the mount. And that's it. So very basic sweep, very efficient, and teaches us a lot about jiu-jitsu because how to move our hip, how to move our legs, how to use leverage. So it's definitely one that everybody should know as a fundamentals. Okay guys, now what you're gonna do here is I'm gonna try the pendulum sweep on my opponent, and he's gonna stop the pendulum sweep. He's gonna lift the opposite leg, and then I'm gonna need to come up with something else. So it's very basic, very fundamentals, and I'm gonna end up going to the arm bar. Okay, so let's see how to do it here. Let's go to this angle here. So guys, let's imagine fighting against my opponent here. I'm gonna control around between his forearm and his elbow. I'm gonna go underneath his leg, and I'm gonna hip escape as much as I can. Okay, that's the pendulum sweep. To be able to do the pendulum sweep, my left leg would go towards this way, and my right leg would go towards this way at the same time. So it would be like this. Okay, but guys, what's gonna happen is, also I got here, Caio is gonna lift his left leg. So now if I try to do that, that thing doesn't work anymore. But look what happened, guys. When I tried to sweep him, look what happened here. Look how his arm is exposed. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pass the leg over, and I didn't get the sweep, but I got the arm bar. Guys, as soon as I got in this position, my right hand is gonna switch to his wrist, and I'm gonna put my both knees together. I'm gonna avoid crossing the leg because I'm gonna lose pressure. So I'm gonna keep this leg heavy, both knees together. I'm gonna lift my hip until he taps. So I'm gonna tap him for only one hand. If I feel that he's not tapping, I could switch for two hands and push as hard as I can. So I'm just gonna lift my hip up and pull his wrist down, exactly like an arm bar. So let's see again. So look, I'm fighting against Caio. I have his arm. I'm gonna go underneath his leg. He's always the opposite leg. Foot on the ground. Go and twist as much as you can. Let's just change the angle. So I'm here, control his arm, go underneath his leg, and as much as you can. He lifted that leg up, so I couldn't sweep him. Okay? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pass my leg over, bend it, keep my both knees tight. Now I'm gonna control his wrist, lift my hip up, and the submission is just there. Okay? So one more time, last one. Fighting against Caio. I'm gonna control his arm. I'm gonna go underneath his leg. I'm gonna open my both legs and try to do the pendulum sweep. But he's gonna lift this leg up over here. So I tried to do the sweep, I couldn't. I just passed this leg over, control his wrist, lift my hip up, and the submission is just there. That's it.